This podcast of storytellers would like to acknowledge the first storytellers whose land we are recording on today, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We would like to pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. We acknowledge them and other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples whose culture lives on today in Naarm, the city Melbourne. Theirs is the oldest in the world and their sovereignty was never ceded. Hello and welcome to the Book of War and Avatar Legends Real Play.
You benders,
the
baddies
story...
and babes.
Thank you. Yes, we're going back. Welcome all you baddies, benders and babes, and welcome to the Book of War and Avatar Legends Real Play. The story of 4 teens seeking the Book of War. 4 runaways seeking the Book of War in a world without the Avatar. My name is Jesse Thomas and I play Minh, FANG, the Foundling, he, him, a repressed runaway lava bender who found a new home for themselves in the Northern Water Tribe while hiding from deadly family obligations. And my Jesse fact is... I don't have them in fact, so I'm going to give you a Jesse fact. I started learning Japanese again. I used to speak it in high school and I had an exchange student. So I'm, doing that. So konnichiwa.
I can teach you one word. Hikaru means radiant.
Very good, very good. Yes, so I'm excited for that and it's been going well. I've practiced every day for 16 days straight.
Duolingo Owl is very pleased.
Yes, he has not threatened to break my kneecaps once.
Hello, my name is Lucas. I play Tomo the Razor, he, him, a combustion bender who likes to keep entrees and secrets close to his chest and who is slowly trying to redefine his place in the world. A Lucas fact, I saw the Avatar live action trailer today.
Oh, yes. You know what? I actually reckon when this comes out, we need to have an episode about it. Just putting that out there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So,
Reading the trailer of War.
can I get a show of hands? Did anybody else tear up?
I haven't actually seen it yet.
I did not tear up, but I watched it without sound because I was in rehearsals.
Oh no. Like there's a little bit towards the end where the theme kicks in and I'm like,
It's got that Hans Zimmer bass to go with.
My God.
It's solid. Can confirm. I didn't tear up, but gosh, was my insides giddy.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
My favorite part of it was Omashu, like that.
Omashu!
Oh my God. I was like, that's exactly what I wanted from a live action Omashu. Like, I was really happy with that.
yeah, it's beautiful. So Georgie, please watch it. So we can talk about it.
I will.
Yeah, I mean it's only a minute and a half long. We should talk about it.
I'm sure I can make time
Yeah.
for Avatar. Hello, my name is Georgie, Hazel, and I play Nuro, the Destined, they, she, he. Nuro is a child from the strange and mystical Foggy Swamp. Due to the threat of war, Nuro had to leave the swamp, but stranger things might be following that critter right out. And I also don't have a Nuro fact. I have a Georgie fact, and Georgie is recovering from being a bit sick, so I apologize if I actually sound like old man Nuro. At any point, it's probably going to come out. That's me. That's all I got.
Speaking of phlegm, my name's Ted Darling, and I play Banji the Guardian, he, him, a runaway from the Fire Nation army who was instead used his...
Runaway. You forgot Runaway.
I did. Sorry.
from the Fire Nation.
Lucas,
Take another run.
Lucas, don't ruin the mic.
Sorry.
Ruined Ted's take.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Ted.
I was here for it.
Speaking of old men.
Speaking of ruining Ted's takes, my name's Ted Darling, and I play Banji the Guardian, he, him, a defector... Hello everybody, my name's Ted Darling and I play Banji the Guardian, he, him, a runaway from the Fire Nation army who has instead chosen to use his strength to protect the vulnerable. And today I have a Ted fact, and that is that, in case you haven't heard it, I was actually GM in our Halloween special that we released on Patreon. So get onto it because it was a lot of fun. And I'm coming for the crown, Ash.
Feedback has been overwhelming that I need to step aside.
One of the things I loved was I really liked my character so much so that I'm like, damn it. Now I can't do that I did in that game anywhere close to the mainstream because I've already done it and then I'm just copying myself and it's bad writing.
Just remember the ice sword of Damocles hangs over your head. Hello, my name is Ash. I am the Grand Master of the White Lotus.
Gum gum.
Gum gum.
Fun fact today, daylight savings has officially kicked in for the first time since we last recorded. And so now all of a sudden there are like families out and about near where we record. So if you hear kids laughing or dogs barking, there's nothing we can do about that. The sunshine is gorgeous and we just have to deal with it. And so do you.
It's so hard being in Australia where the sun is out and the day is shining. I mean, I hate the sun and I will kill it when I die. When I die, I'm going to go kill the sun. But my understanding is the majority of Australians like the sun.
My friend revealed to me yesterday that they have a sun allergy.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a thing?
It's a thing.
It's actually a thing.
That sucks.
It does.
Hey, you know that thing that gives us life and makes every day bearable?
Yeah, too bad for you.
Too bad for you.
I mean, it could be worse. Oh, it's not really worse, but every time people look at the sun, they sneeze. Like it's a there's an
Photophosphine,
Yeah, they fully break out in hives. Hives?
Hives.
Hives.
Them hives.
They're hives, but worse.
Jesse, roll the hibes. We see Iroh stepping through the desert. His skiff is long gone. He is wearing his shirt quasi over his head to try and protect him from the sun. He's lost a shoe somewhere. He looks absolutely stressed out. His beard is on edge. His hair is wild. He is dirty. He is grubby. And he sees, in the not too distant, Misty Springs Oasis. He starts shuffling a little bit further forward, going, finally. And then he sees an earthbender he knows running away from a firebender he knows. And the guards at the city taking shots. Strange though it is, he starts moving a little bit further forward until eventually more people come running out through the gate. And he's still confused as he gets a little bit closer. The final thing that is probably the most confusing to him is he sees one member run through the gate, but not towards where any of the action is, and instead to a slightly wooded area just off to his left. Letting his curiosity get the better of him, he moves towards the wooded area. He's already moving slowly enough that no one's really going to hear him. He doesn't quite have the energy to go full force. But before too long, he comes across what he did not expect to see, which is the dragon he was so recently looking at, sleeping in a glade, and a young firebender approaching it with caution. With an almighty explosion, he looks over and sees this massive column of lava has just encompassed the entire eastern wall of the town. And before too long, he sees a number of figures running back towards this glade. He pounces behind a tree to hide and waits. And before too long, he sees this young firebender reach out and grab this other firebender he's seen before. And it doesn't feel right. He finds a metal tonfa somewhere in the sand and thinks, I need to time this just right. He sees the young female firebender grab this fellow he knows is named Banji, with a very threatening gauntlet wrapped around his face. Well, it's now or never. And he swings the metal tonfa. The sound lets him know that he got a direct hit, and she slumps down. And he looks at the party and says, I can forgive you for leaving me in the desert with not nearly enough tea, if you take me with you.
So as this gauntlet gets released from Banji's face and he feels Hana slump down behind him, he's in shell shock from what he's just witnessed happen with Minh, and then seeing his life flash before his eyes when he gets grabbed by this gauntlet. And he just, without saying a word, he takes off running towards Hikaru and starts to saddle up.
I think Yanni just goes with you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Nuro would kind of be holding Yanni's hand and like her good hand, and just I'm gonna help her get to Hikaru, and as I walk past Iroh, I'm just gonna give like a curt nod, just like the most basic yes that they can give right now.
Fair enough. Mari sort of looks and goes, well, I guess that's my cue. And he walks up to the little crest that we've established is there. And you see him take out one of his swords and he holds it with a little bit of light. And you see it reflect in the direction of the sandbenders. Or like anyone looking will see that they also have a little light reflect back. And he sweeps his sword to show which direction he's going. He says, they'll meet me out the back. You guys get out of here and don't come back. Do whatever, but there's a lot of chaos. I'm out.
Yeah, that's fair. Fine. We will. I mean, best of luck. Spirits be with you.
Sweet.
Thank you, Mari.
I'm keeping the gold, and he walks off.
Wait, what gold?
You notice how gold's gone.
No. Minh Fang gave him gold a couple of episodes ago.
That's fine.
And Iroh says, well, I think we got just the right person here to try and hide this little doozy I save. And he runs forward over this crest, and you see him do a very similar maneuver to what Banji does with his firewall, only he does it almost out of his mouth. And Banji, you see this firewall is bigger than yours. Like, it is...
All right, it's not a competition.
It's not about the size, Ash.
He lays it down, and you know that anyone trying to come close to this is going to take a little bit of time or effort to actually get around. He goes, well, let's go for an adventure.
Read the room.
Prince Iroh, may I have it back, please? And Tomo extends his hand out for gesturing towards the tonfa.
He looks down and at the tonfa in his hand and goes, oh, this, yes, of course. Here you are.
Can we say the niceties to we're on a dragon flying away from this hellhole, please?
Yeah, I think he's sort of having this conversation as he's walking towards. He's feeling jovial. He still looks like trash. Like he hasn't he looks like he's just walked through the desert for at least a day, if not longer. He's possibly slightly skinnier than the last time you saw him. He's definitely dehydrated, which probably explains why he's so chipper.
Where's Hana in this moment?
On the ground.
I think
somewhere.
we're just leaving her, right?
She's just lying on the ground.
She's within range, basically.
Yeah.
Tomo walks up to her and looks over at Banji.
Banji's gone.
Banji-
He's on.
Banji's gone?
Yeah, he's on the dragon.
Tomo's going to raise his tonfa, ready to strike down.
I think, as you go to strike down, Iroh puts his hand up, and just takes it on sort of the flat of his palm, and he says, No. Come.
So there's a moment that Tomo looks into his eyes, and I think it's a gauge of character and abilities, and Tomo does a bit of arithmetic and lets it go this time.
I think you haven't seen the resolve in Iroh's eyes before this moment. He's sort of had this characteristic of friendliness, whereas this one is, I am serious. No. And he very gently, but surely, ushers you towards where the dragon is.
Tomo goes to the dragon.
If you two could have a little bit of urgency with the walking, please, that would be wonderful.
Tomo does a backflip leap onto the dragon's saddle.
Iroh gets up so ungracefully. And I feel that he's the last person on the dragon, yeah? Everyone else is already sort of loaded up.
The only
Yeah.
thing is, Minh Fang, you haven't said if you're going to the dragon yet.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I've been running towards the dragon. Sorry. You're right. I did not say that.
In the
Minh's on Hikaru.
yeah, in the urgency, he forgot to.
He's just standing there.
He's just standing there watching the whole thing, just awkwardly. Come on! No.
And so Iroh sort of plumps himself down, sort of looking around, trying to figure out where to sit. And he's like, oh, this is interesting. And so, where are we going? And without hesitation, Yanni says, Natsuwa Island.
Why, Yanni?
Hikaru, mosey. Just mosey.
Hikaru, let's mosey.
Hikaru feels rested. Hikaru feels he's happy that Yanni is back and he feels connected with you again.
Nice.
Everyone grab on because this is one of those wild rides where he's once again showing off. And he rockets towards the sky and starts making great haste towards Natsuwa Island.
Once we get in the air, Banji's and like the course has been set and stuff. Autopilot's on.
Hikaru knows the way.
Yeah, cool. Banji's going to get up and get off his like captain's seat and back to where the kind of platform that everyone else sits. And then between, there's like a railing, I'm assuming. He's going to sit on the railing and just sort of stare daggers at Iroh and not say anything.
I think Iroh looks back and he's like, do you have any water?
He just kind of like looks at Nuro. Nuro, have you got any water for our guest?
I think I'd like to think that Nuro was right in the middle of giving Yanni some water, maybe. I'm just trying to like mother Yanni, I think, in that moment. There's not a huge amount left, I think, in this little canteen. I gave some to Mari and now Yanni. So Nuro just kind of looks in at the dregs and then just tosses it to Iroh.
He nearly drops it over the side of the thing because it's lighter than he was expecting. But he says, thank you very much, young one. Yanni looks rough,
Yeah.
team. Yanni, she's not her usual self. Like, she looks frazzled and she's staring almost straight ahead.
After like an awkward silence, I'm like, Yanni, why are we going to Natsuwa Island? And how's your hand?
Natsuwa Island is where Addie is, who is probably my best friend in the world that is not likely to get me killed.
Nuro's face just drops.
She does not look at you when she says that. She's still staring straight ahead.
Okay. Very well. Your Majesty.
Oh, no, just Hiro. Just honest. I know that the cat skinks out of the bag, but Hiro's much easier.
My questions aren't for Hiro.
Okay, I guess Iroh will do then.
Why are you here? And why aren't you doing war things?
It was the look on Jesse's face as he said it as well. It's half confusion, half I don't like you, maybe?
Yeah,
I think.
Min's a bit uncertain. You can. He's wearing that on his sleeve for sure.
That's fair. He says, you know, when I first met the four of you, 5 if you count the young lady, I was very impressed with what I saw. We have a spiritual master, Bender from the FANG family, who, amazingly, actually has the ability to lava bend. It's been generations. We have someone who was a member of the Foundry, and a firebender who is on the run, and someone must want him for some reason if they're willing to offer that much money. You're off to go find this mystic book, a quest given by a spirit guide of wisdom? Why would I not want to come along?
Well, what's in it for you?
He smiles broadly. He's like, think of the things I'll learn.
To do what?
You don't just learn?
there is learning, sure, but then there is also the leader of an invading army that's been at war for 70 years coming with a group of people that are fighting something called the Book of War, and I don't know about that.
He smiles at you and says, but I'm on vacation.
Oh, that's convenient, Prince Iroh, that you're on vacation, because there's one small thing that you forgot about, and that's that you're in the presence of 2 dragons. And the last I heard, you're not an airbender, which means if we were to throw you off of here, there was nothing you could do.
He looks for a second. I picture him as like up the back, so everyone's sort of turned around to face him.
Yep. I was just going to see if we can capture this.
I sort of go, all right, hold on. All right, I don't think I'm on the throwing a person to their death team at this point.
You're right. He's much more valuable as a hostage.
No,
You know what? I mean, yes, maybe. I just feel like, I don't know.
Clearly, you're in the team of throwing lava in the face of somebody who's fighting you with fire. Is that the team you're on, Minh?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, did you miss the part where I think I just did actually say that we've been at war with the Fire Nation for 70 years and I was defending myself against firebenders while we were trying to save our friend over here? Did you forget that part, Banji?
Oh, at war with firebenders. Does that mean that we're at war, Minh Fang? You're going to shoot some lava
If you
at
turn
me? Is that
coat
what's gonna
again, then
happen?
yeah, we're going to go
Turncoat.
throw
You
down.
want to talk about turncoat?
Tomo steps
Go
in between
ahead.
the two of you.
Tomo, not now. I'm not hungry.
Excuse us, Prince Iroh. And Tomo puts his arm just gently patting both of you. And if he can, he would like to just turn both of you around and just sort of scoot us. And Nuro, he kind of just, nods his head.
Just a quick reminder, he's still in Udao. Like, muscles are showing, tattoos are on. He does not look friendly.
Yeah, but I still know it's Tomo. It's not like a bear seeing someone raise their hands like, how'd you get so big? It's still him. I know who he is.
Yeah. Yep. Friends, let's have a little talk amongst ourselves before we talk to our guests more, shall we?
Friends. That's what you think we are. Friends.
Friends, we have all just risked our lives for each other. What does that make us? What else does that make us?
Well, of course we're friends, aren't we?
And if we haven't come this far and we're not friends, then where does that leave us?
I think at this point we're more like family, and right now the family's arguing and fighting, and that's a normal, healthy thing that families do, because I don't know what the hell kind of shade Banji's throwing over my way, bro. I point a finger at him.
Are we family? Minh Fang?
Of course.
Yeah? That's what we're going with? Just abandoning people is family?
We're here in the sky on a dragon. I think that's a pretty familial aspect at this point.
Okay. And Yanni goes back to saying nothing.
Don't yell at her like that, man.
I'm not. Everyone's yelling at me first. What the hell do you think is going on? We're in the middle of the sky on a dragon, and we just got out of dodge. I mean, and now the prince is here.
He waves and he hears that.
Stop
and
that! Stop! Don't. Why? You're so friendly. Do you know how hard it is to hate a friendly person?
Very much so. I was really hoping that you'd say that so you wouldn't throw me over the side of the dragon.
I use my mask to just block Iroh from this conversation. And again, the hand comes out and just pads you on the back, Minh. Minh Fang, you did amazing things back there. You should be proud of yourself and who you are.
Minh doesn't really know what to say. He blushes a bit. And it's like, okay, all right.
We are in the middle of a war with just the 5 of us. 6, sorry. And Tomo does a little pat to Hikaru. Just the 6
Don't
of us.
forget about Sooty.
You realize that
Oh my God, Sooty.
you realize that you don't see Sooty anywhere on your person.
Holy shit, I was joking. Where the hell's Sooty? Turn this dragon around right now.
As you turn around and look, you see Iroh actually has Sooty in his hand and he's playing with his finger. So like palm out, Sooty is sitting on it and like playing a little game, almost of like peekaboo with his finger.
Tomo looks at that and just nods. And then he turns his attention back to the rest of the party.
Sooty. Et tu, Sooty.
Banji kind of, his shoulders drop and he looks deflated, and any kind of heat that he had is out, has gone. And, you know, I do see you all as family, and I just watched someone I consider my brother kill someone that I consider my brother. And that, you know, we sat on this dragon not that long ago and we said, no more secrets, no more secrets. And then this happened in front of my face.
First of all, brother, you abandoned that family the moment they changed and challenged your values.
Banji left them to save me.
Yeah, and I think that was the right call. You can't get both, Banji. You're either with us. You can't be halfway. All right, you're here now. They cannot be your family anymore.
That girl was going to kill you.
She was, and if it wasn't for the prince here, you'd be dead.
I know that.
And if you want to talk about secrets, fine. But let's remember that I've been trying to get stuff out of you, all of you, since day one, and you've all thrown me off. And the moment I have one, the moment I dare to have a secret, you're accusing me? I've already given you half my life. I've given you everything I could. And what? I have one thing for myself that is a family secret that I've kept for my entire life, and you're telling me how dare I? No, how dare you, Banji? You won't even look me in the face. You can't even tell me what you saw in the forest. You can't even tell me where you're from, Tomo. You can't even tell me about your abilities, Nuro. So don't tell me about secrets. I've tried. You all brushed me off. I didn't. And no matter what you tell me, I'm here. But apparently that's not both ways. And Minh walks away and sits next to Iroh, actually.
I was going to say, you can either go up to Hikaru
Because I can't go to Yanni. I can't go to Hikaru.
I think I would actually like to grab you and stop you. Try to leave.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll
He
yank you back.
stops.
You want the truth, man? The truth is we're meant to be together. You think that swamp sent me visions of your mother or the library for nothing? You think I want to be here? You think I don't want to be home? You don't think we're all making choices that goes against everything we ever knew and ever thought? I'm sorry that you had to keep that secret for so long. I can't even imagine what it's like. Or maybe I do. But we're meant to be together. Don't you get it? Don't you get it?
Hey, Georgie, I'm going to get you to call someone out. You don't need to roll fatigue for this because you haven't, you've done this in a broad sense. So you're rolling, your principal's currently +1 something?
+1 heritage.
+1 heritage.
And that's my center as well.
And you're, in this case, you're trying to get him to unity.
Okay. Plead with harmony is what I use, isn't it? Is it plead? Sorry, am I pleading?
No, so with this, you're actually rolling with a -1 because that's his current unity.
Well, that would be 4.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in that moment, that means that it has no mechanical change to you, Minh Fang. You can choose how you feel about that statement.
Is this one of those instances where we can expend fatigue to help?
Yeah, absolutely.
Overall?
Absolutely.
On a 4, though, I don't think you can get to a success. So
No, not even if all of us did it.
yeah. Minh pulls his hand away and he's like, I know we're meant to be together. I accepted that a long time. It's just frustrating that I'm the only person that acts like it. And yeah, he goes and sits next to Iroh. Hi.
Hello. It's not much of a party. I have no snacks.
Cool. he takes the water skin from him and just takes a little sip and hands it back.
There's no water in it whatsoever.
He still does the motion. Just grumpily sitting at the back.
I think that Iroh knows that there's no water in it and trying to save face, he takes another sip and goes, that's good stuff.
It's the quenchiest.
Yeah.
Banji, how are you doing?
Honestly, I don't know. I can understand where Minh has come from, and I'll be honest, I don't know that you're not telling me everything, because Iroh just said that you've come from the Foundry, and I know what goes on there. I know what comes out of there. Would I know what comes out of it?
I think
As a soldier?
You're looking at one. You're looking at something that comes out.
But
of the
would
Foundry.
a regular Fire Nation soldier
I
know?
thought we said that when Tomo put it on at first, Ash asked or said that none of you probably know what this is. And then we went around and
You
asked.
wouldn't be in the know about the Udao.
Sorry. Okay.
But
Yeah.
Cause of chaos. The Foundry, do you want to give just a very, very small cap on what the Foundry is?
Sure, it's like Yakuza. It's a really powerful underground gang, but they're so good that they can afford to be showy about it. So they all have these distinctive markings and tattoos.
Cool. Gotcha. So, I'd know about that.
I mean, if they're traditionally showy, right?
It's Fire Nation colony. So they're
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
It'd
so
be akin to like a not ghost story, but it'd be like akin to like a just
Yeah, I know what the Yakuza is.
yeah.
100%. Like you've probably never met a mobster, but you'd think that if you saw one, you'd be like, that's a mobster.
All right, so
I can tell because of his Tommy gun and hat.
He's got a Tommy gun, a hat, a pinstripe suit, and a cigar sticking out of his mouth, see?
cool. We can cut that part out then. I know what comes out of the Foundry, and the markings on your bodies are confirming his story, and you seem like quite a dangerous person. And I've got someone that I don't know anything about their past, a person who did something that was very dangerous and potentially life-ending, and the Crown Prince of the Fire Nation on the being that I've sworn to protect in front of the person that I've also sworn to protect. So I don't really know how I'm doing, Tomo, to be honest. I'm feeling a wee bit out of my depth.
what would you like to know about me?
Who are you?
Come on, Tomo, you can tell him. We're family.
Yanni actually turns her head to look at this too.
Min's listening, but he's not facing.
Cox and ear.
Yeah.
Tomo reaches into his pack and pulls out a bowl, and then he pulls out a very, very full water skin and pours a lot out. And he starts using it to wipe off the black ink that was on his face. And as he's doing this, he
Yeah, Iroh go, oh. He's not going to get up and stop it, but he's like, oh, that could have made some very good tea.
this person, Tomo looks down, and it's still the reflection of this black masked figure. This was Hiroto. He was a lost boy who turned into a criminal, who did whatever was asked of him because the people he was with, he thought was his family. He thought that's what family was. But they did terrible things and made Hiroto do terrible things. And at some point, Hiroto didn't want that life anymore. Now Tomo's eyes gaze to Nuro, and then just for a fraction, but then goes back to Banji. I don't want to be Hiroto anymore. I'm on a new path now with you. People who are showing me what family actually is. Is this enough for you, Banji?
I think so. As long as I know that you're here for all of us and not just for yourself.
If I was here for myself, I wouldn't be here. How much danger have we gone through? Look, I know secrets can feel like a betrayal, but it's about the intention of why that secret is kept. I think you know that Minh Fang meant no harm in hiding who he is. I think seeing what he can do, I think we can understand why he hid it. And now that he trusts us enough, I don't know if Minh Fang's in earshot of all this.
Yeah, he's listening. But he's pretending not to read.
Cool guy.
Tomo. So I guess Tomo looks at Minh Fang where he says it like, now that he trusts us enough to reveal who he is, as family, we should stick by him. Like we will stick by you.
Banji nods. And I think he gets up and I'll like packs and stuff like that. He goes into his pack and he pulls out like just one of the random shirts or something he has and tears off a little strip and then walks over to Minh Fang and hands him like a strip. And Minh Fang, you've got a cut on your face. You should really stop that bleeding.
You see him look up and there's like so much blood. Like it's a bad cut. Like he's bleeding a lot, but he just hasn't noticed or he forgot.
It's got that cool anime, like it's just coming straight down from the cut, like in almost like a straight line.
No, I think it's like, in my brain, I pictured it like across his face. Like it's like you can't hide it. It's really obvious.
Okay, yeah, you describe it for the listeners now.
Yeah, I think it is like an obtrusive cut across his face. Maybe not like a full squall Final Fantasy VIII for those of you who have played or Kingdom Hearts or whatever, but like maybe just across, like from like underneath his eye across his cheek, like down to like his jawline. Like it's bad. It's going to scar and it's going to be there forever.
Tyrion Lannister style, is that?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. And the moment you like say like you're bleeding, you got a lot of blood, like I think he feels it. And like he realizes that he's been feeling pain this whole time. And that's maybe why he's been yelling. He's like, thanks. Banji takes the rag and he starts wrapping up his head in a really unflattering way. And he doesn't know. He doesn't
Squashes his hair down so much.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing. And he just sort of ties it and like is just resting his hand on his face now, just holding his face. And he's, thanks.
Tomo, whilst this is happening, Tomo's just going to go next to Nuro and just really quietly just whisper, I'm not ready to tell the other things yet.
You take your time, Tomo. But just know that I've got your back.
Thank you. And I have yours.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
You know, I've seen people care about each other fight like this before. You know, it's... I don't know what I would do if I didn't have any of you here. I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose Yanni. But and they just stop. They've got more on their mind from that point, but I think it's just a little too hard to verbalize. I think it goes a little too much into their own secrets and stuff they don't really completely understand. So they just shake it off and smile up at Tomo, and they're just like, I'm okay. Yanni's safe. Everyone's safe. You know, Minh might not be so pretty anymore, but he'll be okay. I'm going to go check on Yanni now.
Tomo nods. It's a good idea.
Yeah, and I go and sit with Yanni again, and I can tell that she doesn't really want to be fussed over because she's not really responsive, I suppose.
Yeah,
still.
it's I think you see she's got like, you know, when someone's upset but they don't tell you, you can almost see the muscles in their neck moving. She's got a bit of that going on.
I think very silently, Nuro just... Oh, wait, no.
Loudly.
Minh has kibosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna give Yanni kabaj, but instead I just sit by her and I just take her hand. If she tries to pull away, I'll let go, but if not, I'm just gonna hold onto her hand very tightly.
I think that what happens is that she lets you take the hand and it feels relatively unresponsive.
Yeah.
And then after a period of time, like a really long time, or at least what feels like a really long time, you get a bit of a squeeze back.
Yeah.
But she doesn't seem to give much other emotion than that.
Okay. Yeah, I just sit with her. Yeah.
I think that with that awkward, everyone sits in a bit of awkward silence, except every now and again, Iroh goes, oh, as he sees something in the distance, which you've all seen a few times now, so it's not as impressive. Like, it's always
Been in
impressive.
this area. Yeah.
But like, you know, seeing a volcano off in the distance from this height, it's like, whoa. And before too long, with Hikaru at, you know, as close to full strength as we've ever seen him, he makes it to Natsuo Island in what feels like record time.
I think Tomo would have spent that time on the dragon just reverting back to how he's normally dressed. So, you know, fully covered robes, you know, belly a little bit bigger, you know, stance is a little bit less intimidating, more doughy.
You, as you're sort of putting on your snack pack, you would normally have taken 4 or 5 things out of it at this point, and you've taken none.
Yeah. I don't observe that. Of course, I don't notice that.
I just wanted it said out loud.
I forgot about that.
Ted, last time Banji was here, he was not dressed in fire regalia. Are you remaining in your armor for any reason, or are you going to get changed as well?
I think Banji would get changed, especially given the way he kind of feels right now. He feels very ashamed of the Fire Nation as a whole and like really conflicted with his identity. I think because there was also like, not only was there the interaction with Minh and Talon before, but there was him attacking his thing, and I think it was the other guy, Sia being like, you'll never be family again. His identity is very much like, who am I?
Yeah, fun fact, no one checked on what Ignis was doing.
Yeah.
Just going to leave that one out there. Hikaru does his usual thing when he's coming into an island, which is he scoots really, really low so no one from the island really sees him and gets very, very low to the water. And as he's coming in, you can see already, even though it's not been that long, maybe a couple of weeks, this whole place, this whole village looks significantly more fortified and is doing so much better than it was only a short time ago.
Definitely warm Nuro's heart.
Yeah, Banji smiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, Minh feels pretty good about that, actually, considering he was like, oh, we got to do stuff now. Like, and that's why Island made him, like, be a bit more serious. So he's like, oh. And he asked that question. He was like, do you think we're going to actually do anything? And Banji was like, look, probably not, but we did it, and that's important. But it actually did something.
Tomo just wants to double check there's no like Fire Nation banners flying over there.
No, there are no Fire Nation banners.
All of Kingdom.
No extra banners that you could see. The fields themselves look like they are undisturbed, and people look a little bit livelier. Like you hear those noises, you know, the noises of industry as they were like, you know, mining that rock and working away. Everyone's just a bit chattier. Everything's just a little bit more.
There's an energy.
Yeah.
Cool.
How are you? Like, I picture you like Hikaru, like just sort of swims up and just sort of almost floats along the water and like just up to the wharf.
Yeah. I think so.
That's what I was picturing as well, actually.
Yeah.
So.
The wharf. I'll say wharf master. I don't think we gave him the name last time. He
Wharf.
His name is Wharf. There you go.
What's up, Trekkies?
Yeah, Wharf sees you, was like, last time you were on a boat, what is this?
We don't have that boat anymore. Well, we got part of it. You see the saddle?
It's a big snake. Don't worry about it.
Wharf. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. Tomo goes out to Wharf and This is a boat.
Okay, you know what? I didn't ask questions last time, and the village is better for it, so whatever, okay?
Where's Addie?
Do I need to feed it? Do I feed your boat?
I wouldn't go too close to it if I were you. Where's Addie?
You hear Hikaru like groan because he wants something to eat. He just sort of opens his jaw. He's like, ah. It's like, I'll go get some fish. I think Yanni just jumps off and starts walking towards the center of town. Yeah, I think your question goes unanswered. Like, you say it and just no one responds.
That's nice.
Sort of look at everyone and I like make eyes. Jeez. And then like I jump off. I'm going to follow Yanni.
Yeah, I think we'll follow Yanni as well.
Yeah, we'll follow her.
After you, Hiro?
Yeah, Hiro jumps off. He's like, I have not been to Natsuwa Island.
Let's keep it that way.
Are you
But
really?
I'm currently on...
You know what? Don't worry about it. You're on holiday.
Yeah.
Right.
He rolls his eyes.
And he starts whistling as he's walking along the docks.
Tomo is a respectable distance behind. Just, you know what? Just watching.
As you approach the center of town, same deal. Everything's just looking, it's not like they've expended extra resources to, like, make the bits in the buildings nicer. But everything just feels like it's got a little extra sheen of polish or anything. Does that make sense? Like,
There's a bit more pride.
it's gone from common to rare. That's where we're at. That's
Uncommon.
You've got common to uncommon. So it's gone from
White to
white to green. And she approaches Addie, and Addie looks at Yanni, and just immediately puts up a sign that says closed. And she's like, "Do we need to go?" And Yanni's like, I think at this point breaks down. She starts crying and just wraps herself around Addie. And she goes, yeah. Yeah. And they start walking off to what you assume is the bar.
I mean, I didn't think we weren't not included as far as Addie would know. So maybe we're just following. I mean, Minh goes to join, but isn't going to be he'll be stopped if someone's like, actually, maybe not.
But I don't think anyone stops you.
Yeah.
Unless
Hero's certainly walking along. It's just like, I am so thirsty.
yeah, I'm going in.
As you all approach, no one else really notices, in the town, no one's really paying too much attention. But strangely enough, there is a goose monkey out the front of the bar, just sort of sitting there playing with its toes.
Does Tomo recognize the goose monkey?
I mean,
I recognize the goose monkey.
I mean, does anyone recognize a goose monkey?
Are they common?
I mean, they're not it's not the most uncommon thing. Why there is one on Natsuwa Island, you couldn't necessarily say. You don't know that they're natives here or not.
Yeah, true.
Nuro looks up at his eye. Is your name Mort or Numa?
It just sort of looks at you and makes that horrifying noise that Jesse had for Foley. And
as soon as you say that as well, Min's just sort of dead in his tracks, just waiting to see if it answers because it's not going to.
yes, hello. My name is in fact Mortimer. It's a pleasure to meet you. No,
I think out of reflex, Banji steps in front of Minfang, between Minfang and the goose monkey, and a protective stance.
he makes no move. It just looks like we've described them before as just being smelly and not particularly pleasant to be around at some points. And this one just sort of looks at you and just. I don't know what I was saying, mate.
Minh slowly skirts his way, just inching around the goose monkey's threat range and trying to make into the bar.
Tomo looks around for other goose monkeys or other.
Roll assess the situation.
Here we go. It's been a little while.
So cash, two-handed whoop cash.
That's a 1 and a 2.
He's lost his power.
What bad thing happens to you? I know exactly what happens to you.
Hang on. With assess the situation is focus, is it?
I mean, it's creativity.
Oh, creativity. So you're right. So that's a 4.
Yeah, it doesn't help you, buddy.
No, but it's not a 3. So I don't know how. Just
As you come in. Here's exactly what happens. I think as Tomo, everyone's on edge, and Tomo sort of steps into the bar, looking around, being like, "Are there other goose monkeys? What is going on?" And you take a step backwards, and you hear a very drunken man say, "You know, I used to be in charge of everything, absolutely everything." And in your alarm, you spin around and knock the drink out of his hand, and he looks down and goes, "Another interloper? You've returned to taunt me?"
Tomo seeing who this guy is, I think I'm just gonna punch him.
Yeah, if you don't, then Nuro's gonna whoosh with it.
I'm just wondering. I think Tomo's his reflexes fast enough that he could just whip out his tongue fur.
Just before you do, I think he says, and he falls over. Like you take a swing and you just completely get fresh air as he just lands on his ass. And the bartender says, "He's had like 2 drinks and I watered them down."
It's like Minh Fang getting drunk.
Minh Fang wasted? No.
What are you here for? This isn't even the island you wanted.
This is just sad.
Yeah, this is awkward as hell.
So this is outside the bar.
This is inside
the bar.
You basically, as you stepped in, he was not too far away from the.
All right, I think.
Sorry, off mic. Didn't Hikaru eat this guy?
No,
He threw him away.
Oh, okay.
You thought he ate him.
Yeah, gotcha. Cool.
Lord Damo, I see one of your pets at the bar. Where are the others? There's 3. Was there 3 or there's 2?
There's 2.
There's 2. Where is the other one?
The other one is like on the bar trying to steal drinks off people.
Okay, so they're both within visual range.
Yep.
Did either of them look like they cared when I was about to strike Lord Damo?
Not specifically. Well, one of them was outside and didn't see it happen, and the other one is currently focused at the bar.
Okay. Tomo is gonna pick up Lord Damo. I'm imagining this won't be hard because he's a skinny little man.
He's a skinny man.
Little man.
You notice actually he's not in as like fancy. Funnily enough, currently what he's wearing is what would be considered current fashion by comparison to what it's like reduced to rags.
This way, Lord Damo. Let's get you somewhere quiet in the shade.
I'm in the shade. This whole building is shade.
Shh. And Tomo starts to pat him. And just walking away rhythmically. Like a father would, possibly trying to rock his 1-year-old child who just would not go to fucking sleep.
Where are you taking this man?
AF.
He's going to go out the back and shoot him. That's what it feels like. You're like, shh.
Very sinister.
Yeah, please don't.
It's my character. I do what I want.
Yeah, I think Iroh sort of steps in. It's just like, Lord Damo, what happened to you? And he said, "Oh, I have a tale of woe. I had a chance to become a dragon." And at which point you hear Iroh start laughing at the concept that this man would ever best a dragon, and then realizes that he's not changing his mind. Like, I could have been a dragon, but these 4 stopped me. One of them beat me in Agnikai. I've lost my entire platoon. Oh, I am now down to mere millions. It used to be tens of millions. Now it's only dozens.
Tomo's still walking out of the bar. It's, I guess, I'm assuming...
No, I think Iroh stopped that.
Stops that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In the meantime, Yanni and Addy have gone straight to the bar, and they're on probably their 3rd round by now in the time that this has taken.
Is Yanni looking better?
Yeah, it's probably she's just been sober for the first time in centuries.
Centuries. I knew it. She is a spirit.
I don't have an answer for that. Yeah, redacted. Yes, better. Definitely not worse.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Banji walks in and sort of takes Nuro by the hand and I'm assuming that like where the bar is opposite that would be like some booths and stuff.
Yeah, there's some boothies, dually bits.
Kind of leads Nuro to one of the booths and lifts them up onto the seat. Or, I mean, yeah, I'd lift you up to the seat because I feel like you're vulnerable. Yeah.
I'm just picturing Nuro uppies. Banji uppies.
And then is going to turn to Nuro and be like, well, he's looking decidedly less eaten than the last time I saw him.
Oh, you thought he got eaten?
Yeah, Hikaru just did short work of him. I just assumed he was gone.
He went flying. I'm surprised the shark, the
Sharktopus.
shark seal.
Sharktopus is
Shark-
good.
I'm surprised the sharktopus didn't get their grubby little tentacles on them.
I think he overhears that. He goes, "It did, but I taught it to his boss."
What a shame.
It's just so pathetic, isn't it? He's so unfortunately pathetic. I mean, I'm no longer threatened by this man, and he's crying himself.
You're right, Earthbender. I am pathetic. I don't know what to do with my life anymore.
Oh, you should go home and rethink your life.
No more Agni Kais.
If I returned home with this state of disgrace, no one would ever treat me with any dignity ever again.
Oh no, he thinks he has been treated with respect. That's not good.
No, I'd love to use cut the garbage.
Yes, here we go.
And and they're just gonna say, do you really think that you're worthy of being a dragon? So I'm gonna roll. That is 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm counting. 10.
Full 10. Okay, what do you get on a full 10?
I get to ask 2.
Okay.
So characters can say or do what they like, but the player will answer honestly. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, you can do what you like with that. Do you really, the question is like, what do you really think about blah, blah, blah? And so my question is, do you really think that you're worthy of being a dragon?
I have tamed beasts from all across the lands. I have trained armadillo bears. I have trained badger frogs.
Oh, they're tiny.
I have trained camel elephants.
Oh, they're
Camel elephants. I've trained cat gators, ostrich horses. Actually, which ostrich horses was a real thing. We should have just looked that up. I've trained, we call them flamingo, pelican horses.
Well, if you're that good with animals, maybe you should go into the circus biz.
Yeah, what?
As a ringmaster or something. Surely people would enjoy that, respect you there.
I mean, you got the pizzazz, if that's what you call it.
Kind of dress like one.
Oh yes, this garb, this gaudy fashion that I had to pick up. It is true, I do look like some degree of clown.
No, I actually want to convince this man to go make a circus.
Well, my second question is what do you intend to do next?
I am at a loss. No one will ever take me seriously again. I can't become a dragon. I don't have a platoon. Oh.
Every time he says can't become a dragon or anything mentions the dragon, Banji just smirks and is like, hell yeah.
I think Iroh leads is like, I will need this story in full at some point in the very near future.
He's just kind of, Banji's feeling his oats.
Can I guide and comfort this guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I want to guide and comfort him. Oh, that is...
Juicy.
That's at least an 11. And it's either an 11 or a 12. I think I just go up to him. I put my hand on his shoulder. And I just go, join the circus. You'll feel better. And a pat. That's it.
Okay, you also have the choice to shift his balance if you want.
Yeah, I shift it towards circus. No, I mean, I don't know his things, but
I'll give it on a 10. I'll give it to you. It's success.
Yeah, go join the circus. You'll be very successful.
Yeah, you'll have people looking at you, laughing at you all day. Not laughing at you, with you.
Seeing your ability to train various animals would be impressive in that situation.
Couldn't train a dragon.
I don't recommend using those goose monkeys. They're terrifying.
Oh, they're not so bad once you get to know them. Numa! And Numa, who's at the bar, sort of looks over and comes over and is like, Patsies! Come for Patsies! And it sort of like climbs up over his back and extends its bill out, and he scratches under the bill, and you see the little like foot leg like start like kind of like when you scratch the dog in just the right spot, just the leg starts going, they're not so bad.
Tomo goes aside to Iroh. How much do you know of this man? Do you know anything of this man?
Pretty much what you see is what you get. There has been no I have met him before, and there is no difference.
How much is he worth?
A lot. But if you're thinking about some sort of ransom, I promise you no one will pay it.
All right, thank you.
You see a bottle comes flying at Lord Damo's head, and it just sort of ricochets off. It doesn't shatter over it or anything, but it's bonk. What was that?
Sorry, if a real glass bottle hit him in the head, he's down.
It's a small bottle.
Okay.
Fine. It's a bamboo cup. There you
Got
go.
a bottle.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool.
There you go. It's a bamboo cup.
Should we test it out?
No,
Let's Mythbuster this.
brain buster this.
Wait, Buster? No, not again, Nash. No.
Stop. Don't you dare.
Well, it's about that time.
No.
Yeah. Fine. A bamboo cup comes flying at Lord Damo's head and just sort of bonk straight off it. What was that? And she says, so you get to have a reason to do things. You get to be useful, even though you are the most useless person in the world. You don't have anything that you can offer. And all of a sudden, you've got value. You've got so much value to these people and the world. And just get out. He goes, fine. I'm off to go fulfill my dream
Join the circus.
of becoming a world-class performer.
Yeah, all right. You gotta go.
Close enough.
I shall not drag on any longer. There it is. There's my title name. I am ready to be fancy once again. Numa, Maud, to me. And he like takes 2 steps out of the bar, and you hear him hit the ground, and loud snoring occurs. Yanni is still facing everyone and has a look on her face of fury, pure fury. There are 6 or 7 empty containers behind her.
Yanni, we don't even respect that guy, let alone think he's useful. I'm not sure what you mean.
Oh, but you'll help him, like, go fulfill his dream? Go be useful to the world? Is that it, Minh?
I'm feeling some tension here. Something you want to say, or you're just going to keep alluding to things randomly with no real through line?
You get another. Yeah.
Minh ducks the bamboo cup thrown at his face.
Addie sort of looks and she's like, Yanni, just calm down. We can talk about this. She's like, no, go on. Tell them all, Minh, because I don't think anyone knows. You tell them.
Tell them what?
Yeah, tell us what.
What did you call me?
Call you?
What did you say when you left me there?
Left you? I didn't leave you anywhere.
Oh,
I made a choice to put you in the care of someone I trusted.
You trusted a man who you had met once, who had made you some fruity drinks. You trusted this man with all of your money and that he would take care of me. And you didn't trust me. What did you say, Minh?
I never said I didn't trust you.
What did you say?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What did you say, Minh?
Fine. Do you want to know? Do you want to know what I said? I said she was a liability. All right? Nuro nearly got hurt because you did. All right? Do you know how hard it is to watch someone in a combat situation that cannot fight at all? It's horrifying. And it was so scary, and I thought you were going to die. And I would have said anything to keep you safe. And at that moment, I had one choice, and that was a man who said he could fix you with the healing waters, so I left you there. Yes, because that was the right choice to make. You don't get to tell me it wasn't, because you're here, and I'm cut in the face. Look at me. Look at me. This is what I did to make sure that you were safe.
And she holds up her hand, which is still completely and utterly covered in gauze and looking like horrible. She also looks really, really distressed and draggled. And she says, and I did this for Nuro. And I would do it again and again and again. Even if it cost me my entire arm, I would do it.
And I would do this again if it kept you safe.
And yet you'll still leave me there. So you wouldn't do it, Minh.
Oh, I can't win, can I? Great, cool. Just another one of my family yelling at me, and Minh tries to go and leave. He's not having this confrontation anymore. He tries to leave.
Yanni turns around back to the bar and signals another.
Nuro is so distraught watching this. They actually don't know who to follow in this instance either.
I think Iroh's sort of standing next to you, and he's like, He looks down at you and says, in your heart, who do you need to speak to most right now? Who cannot wait? And he smiles warmly at you.
Go with the hot one. But who am I referring to?
Banji, he's the fiery boy.
And Nuro wants to try and have it both ways.
While Neuro's deciding, I think Banji just sort of slides out from the booth and walks over to Yanni, who's, her hand's on the bar, and he just puts a hand on hers and gives her a squeeze on the hand and a nod, and then quietly kind of follows up Minh out the bar.
Take care of Hikaru.
Oh, well, take care of yourself.
She laughs and she's like, well, apparently no one else is going to.
Banji sort of hangs his head a little bit and walks off.
And Addie sort of elbows her and says, come on. So she smiles because you do what you got to. Okay. Short, simple, sweet. Very, very Banji-esque.
Yeah.
Nuro doesn't go all the way to Yanni, I don't think. I think that goes to her side and looks up and just is like, I'm so glad you're safe, Yanni. There wasn't a moment where I didn't stop thinking about you, that you were in pain and in danger because of me. But the truth is, if it was to keep you safe, I'd probably do anything to make that happen. And I can see on Minh's face that that's really all he wanted. I don't think he should have left you behind. That hurts. I would have said something. I would have tried to change that. And I'm sorry.
The problem is, he's probably right. Maybe I just need to take a bit of time. That's why I'm here. And she puts her hand on Addie's hand. She says, I need some time to grow back and figure out what I'm doing next. But don't worry, I'll be there to keep you safe next time you're in trouble, because who else is going to do it?
Nuro just kind of has a little bit of a laugh and I think knows what's inevitably going to happen. So it's almost like the big goodbye right now. I'm sure there's going to be another one, but in that moment, Nuro knows. Nuro cannot make Yanni stay. So I think that Nuro just goes in and just hugs Yanni as hard as they can.
You get a big hug back, having outed all of what was being really pent up, it's a big old hug.
Yeah. I think it's just like it's everything in one. It's a thank you and your family. I'll never forget everything you've done. And like just a wordless, like just, they're so in sync kind of, I think.
Yeah.
When they part, Nuro just kind of looks up and is like, I've got to go talk to my friend. I'll see you soon, okay?
And she smiles, kind of back to that old self, if only for a moment. And she says, make sure you bring me lots of treasure that you find in that cave, okay?
You know it. So much treasure, I won't even be able to walk. There'll be so much treasure in my pockets. There'll be a trail behind me. Oh, yachty. Okay. Nuro just gives Yanni a little salute and nods and then backs up and then leaves. Runs out after Minh and Banji.
Tomo steps up to Yanni and he produces a bag of coins. There's probably like maybe, say about 50 gold. We had like 200.
All our money.
No. We had 200, right?
You've got significantly less.
Less? Since for what?
I think you ended up with about 150 pulled together.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah. Okay, so out of the 150,
Without going back to an old episode, and we can always
I think 150
say next
sounds
episode.
right.
Sorry, yeah, you had about 150.
I don't give all of it to Yanni. I give a reasonable amount to Yanni, and I just like kind of slid it across the bar to her, and just thank you, Yanni, for everything.
I think she sort of looks at you and says, you are a man with secrets, Tomo. And so is Nuro. So keep both of your secrets safe, okay?
Of course. I think it's safe to say that we both hope to see you again.
And she smiles and she goes, I'm almost certain of it.
And Tomo nods and turns around and starts walking out.
Can you just quickly roll assess the situation for me?
Oh. Six.
Nothing seems strange about this moment.
Oh.
And I think that's everyone. Actually, no, Iroh has a moment. He walks over. He goes,
We don't see it. We're not there.
and no one sees it, but Iroh walks over to Yanni and says, sometimes clearing the air is part of clearing the soul. And the only thing that will help clear everything is some good tea. And he leaves like a few leaves like in a little sachet behind. He's like,
Okay.
when you're ready. And he walks off.
I'm gonna you know how I've got that thing where I can just be anywhere in the scene I want?
You teleport behind.
No, we call it like surprise entrance, right?
It's not quite how it works, but go on. What have you got in mind?
I have to roll for it though, I think.
What have you got in mind?
I want to do that, then I want to do I'm a people person and roll to see what
You're out. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
You're out.
Come on.
That's not how it goes, but I appreciate your intent.
Like, that's me using my moves, but okay.
Jesse, Minh Fang walked outside, and one by one, everyone has come to join you. What were you doing when you?
I think Minh was just gonna like go.
Step over
Kick a tree.
Numa man.
Oh,
He steps on him.
I think the goose monkeys are both sitting on him. Like,
Oh, yeah,
and
no,
so like.
Slowly walk around the goose monkeys. I think either he was gonna go like sit on a hill and cry, or like go and like rock bend but skip stones like across the water. So it's like really. So he's just like stamp poof and just like yeets a pebble like 50 skips before it stops. And he's just angry and he's like, stupid old lady. Stupid. Like really, like he's just being petulant at this point. He just.
Doesn't sound like a Minh Fang thing.
But yeah, you can sort of see he's like trying not to cry because it's like he is young. He's not that great with confrontation. thinks he was right. He's got an adult telling him that he was wrong, but he's like, no. So yeah, it's a stamp, stone, stamp, little stone, stamp, little stone.
I think everyone comes down one by one and sees Minh Fang is doing this sort of release. Does anyone have anything to say?
I think Banji walks up and just quietly kind of stands next to Minh Fang, doesn't interrupt his rock bending, earth bending, and just kind of watches. I'm assuming, is it sunset? Are we going to say it's sunset for drama?
We can say it's sunset,
It's sunset
for, drama.
for drama.
Sure, why not? We've already concluded time is strange. When time. Yeah, the sun will do whatever we want it to do to make it look good.
Yeah.
The sun is there for purely aesthetic reasons.
The sun has nothing to do with time. It only has to do with aesthetics. Aesthetics.
Banji walks up and is just kind of watching the sunset with Minh Fang, and then kind of out of the blue, before everyone else gets there, he's sort of like, Minh Fang, I think I've been very harsh, and you're 100% right. Everything you do, you've done for us, and I think perhaps Yanni may not have seen it, but I think you made the right decision, and I think that you made the right decision with Talon and Sia, and I do consider you family, and I'm sorry, and I'd like to guide and comfort, please.
Roll for it.
That's a 10.
Hey.
Okay. You have your choice, Jesse. Embrace the guidance and comfort. You don't have a condition or fatigue to clear currently, so there's no major troubles there.
I was going to mark angry, but sort of missed that boat, I think. I'll embrace the guidance.
You're not going to shut him down?
No,
Just
I think
checking.
he's just going to move. I think that means Minh moves towards unity.
No, that'll be a...
Right? That's a Banji.
that's a Banji choice.
Great.
So
Look, I know. Thank you. It's just all so hard, man. Stomp, stone.
is it getting better or worse?
It's not getting better or worse. It's like he's putting less effort into it. So it's like it's getting worse, but not because he's bad. He's just like not committed to the bit anymore. Like not committed to the stone skip, but he's just doing it.
And I know what you're saying, and it, believe me, I can totally understand how hard it is. But do you remember the last time that we were here and you asked me if any of this was worth it? And I mean, look around. These people are not just surviving anymore; they're thriving, and that's something that we did. We helped them with that, and I think if we keep doing what we're doing, as hard as it is and as messy and difficult as it makes our relationships with each other and the world around us, I think it's almost a duty to the people of the world to do it. And we can't do it unless we stick together and take care of each other.
Mm-hmm. Minh bends up another stone to skip, and then instead of like skipping it, he grabs it.
Sorry.
No. Yep.
And we can't keep doing this if we're not telling the truth. Nuro's voice just comes out of nowhere and joins you. And they're kind of like with their palms opening and closing very nervously. And my truth is that there's not much that I remember from my time lost in the foggy swamp. I remember glowing eyes. I remember being in lots of places all at once. And I know that when I came out, I didn't come out alone. And, whatever it is that you're following, my truth is that there's something inside me. And I don't know if it's all good or bad. I don't think it's that simple, but there is something inside me that scares me, but it is leading us. I don't think I'm here to be followed. I'm here to make sure that we're where we need to be. I don't know if I can control this power. I know that it gets stronger. That's my truth. My truth is you might not even be safe with me. My truth is I don't even know where we're going. I'm just following, just like you.
Just time over this.
Yeah, everyone's there.
What time? Tomo would have walked up by now, I guess. If you choose to.
Actually, Tomo would adopt a little wide stance and just breathes in. Ash, what is the most delicious smelling thing and which direction is it in?
The answer is there'd be some sort of like sausage sizzling over a fire somewhere near the middle of town.
Yep. So I think on the way to his friends, Tomo would go by there and just purchase like ample amount. And I guess if you like, he can come in on the scene.
Interestingly enough, though, like you smell it, and it takes you a while to register what it is.
But enough for me to know. Okay, this is food.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this person also sells like just rice balls or whatever, less exciting side dish to accompany the sausages. But Tomo would just grab a bunch of that as well.
Okay.
And he would come out on the scene and, with his amazing hearing, he would have,
What do your Tomo ears hear?
what my Tomo ears, I guess, would have heard what FANG said, I think Banji's conversation, and then Nuro's bit with the truth. Goes to each and every one of you and hands out a sausage?
A food.
A food on a stick.
Hands out a food.
Hands out a delicious thing on a stick. And in doing so, Nuro, you are not the only one here that is dangerous to be around. Before I joined the Foundry, I was trained to Tomo looks at it at the remaining food in his hand, which is just this plain little rice ball thing. And it actually does very much remind him of the food that he used to get, just the most plainest, blandest thing that was there. I can make things explode around me.
What?
It's not something I can do very often or very well. And I'm dangerous to be around because I can't do it very well. Every time I do it, I may hurt one of you if you're close. And also, there are people in this world who will always be looking for me.
I think Nuro takes your hand at that in solidarity.
Listen, Tomo, I mean, Minh sort of has this rock in his hand, this stone. He's like, I mean, you're not the only one that's not safe to be around. And he sort of crushes his hands together and pulls them apart, and there's just this orange light of this molten rock. It's like, my family are a long line of aberrant benders. And we can melt rock and make lava, and that makes us very valuable to the Earth Kingdom. And if you're dangerous, well, I'm just as dangerous. And he throws the the molten rock into the water, and it just sizzles and freezes away and seizes up. So, if Nuro's dangerous to be around, you're dangerous to be around, I'm dangerous to be around, Banji is also dangerous because Hikaru, but follows his every beck and call, and is a dragon, and he looks Banji in the face and says that Banji is a dragon. Then, honestly, I think these truths are the truths that are meant to be together. Because if it was anyone else, maybe they would be in trouble. But because it's us, there's a reason for dangerous people have been pulled together.
Well, actually, speaking of the dragon, and I know a lot of you think that I'm being overly protective of Hikaru and was overly protective of Nuro, but there's something that I need to tell all of you as well. And, Nuro knows this, but the reason that Hana and I were in the Foggy Swamp was to search for and detain and maybe even destroy a powerful bender. And when we went into the Foggy Swamp, the powerful bender that we found was Nuro. And I had a vision at that time, and the vision that I saw was me standing over Nuro, and then me dragging Nuro by the hair, and then the world in flames, and the Fire Nation, and me dragging Nuro in chains to put them in front of Ozai and his brother Iroh.
Iroh, you say?
Spirits.
That's why I've been so reluctant to trust him, and it's not just that he has the potential to harm Hikaru, he also has the potential to harm Nuro and the potential to harm the world. And that's why I was so dismissive of these visions, because I changed that vision. I didn't just leave the Fire Nation because it was on a whim. I can't let that future come to pass.
That's why I trust you, Banji. That's why I stuck with you. Because you changed your destiny then and there. I saw it in your face.
Thank you, Nuro.
Well, look. The prince is with us now. There's 4 very dangerous people. What's he gonna do?
Good news, everyone.
Spirits.
I found us some rooms.
And we'll leave it there. We see ourselves in that main firebending tent that Tomo managed to infiltrate. The map is still present. And Zhao is standing looking at Hana with an ice pack on the back of her head. So they got away? And Ignis says,
But did my device work?
and she says,
I found exactly where that dragon was.
and on the table between them all is a device with one of Hikaru's scales. And he says,
If we can find one more dragon scale, I'll be able to find any dragon in the world. But for now, it'll just have to be that blue one.
The Book of War is Lucas Lee as Tomo, Georgie Hazel as Nuro, Ted Darling as Banji, myself Jesse Thomas as Minh FANG, and Ash Cooper as our Grand Master of the White Lotus. Our theme song and outro, The Book of War Remains, is by Matt Harrison, and additional sound effects and music are from zapsplat.com. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram just by searching up The Book of War and Avatar Legends Real Play. If you want to support the show, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/The Book of War podcast. For $5 US a month, you can support the show and gain access to Written in Flames, our prequel arc, the Reading the Book of War, our director's commentary on the show, and Blood and Bone, our Halloween one-shot special. There'll be more content coming in there as well. We have a lot planned, including a Christmas-themed one-shot that will be coming up very shortly, and we will have more info for you soon. If you still want to support the show but don't have the money at the moment, or are not in a position where you can give us money, that is perfectly fine. All you need to do is tell your friends. I mean, if you have friends, which I'm certain you do, I'm sure you became friends because of your shared love for Avatar. So, send it to your friends. Send it to people that you think might enjoy it. If you have friends that listen to tabletop podcasts, that's actually also going to be most likely our kind of listeners. So you can help the show in many ways, and that is just one of them. So please, tell your friends. Word of mouth, the best way to grow this podcast. Once again, sorry for the delay on this episode, and thank you for all of your understanding. The next episode after this one will be out on December the 2nd. Also, it's worth letting you know that we're probably going to be taking a break in December. We'll be coming back in the new year, fresh and ready to go. So we will see you then. We could do it while you're talking. Desert.